Hey everyone, welcome back. On March 20th, Larian just revealed more updates coming with patch 8. Let's check out what they have to say. So Larian says, hey folks, if you're participating in the patch 8 stress test, look out for update number 3, which is now going live. Thanks to your support and feedback, we're moving along with our third update to the patch 8 stress test, which targets several crashes and gameplay fixes and brings us closer to release. Awesome. Today's update also introduces more balancing tweaks and fixes for the new subclasses so that you can make the most of them. Remember to share your experience with us. We want to hear how you've got on with patch 8, so make sure to fill out the feedback form found in your access email. So let's jump right into the changes. Stress test update number 3, starting with subclasses. So fixed the new subclass icons for action resources not showing up in character creation. Gotta love the new subclass icons. Fixed characters facing the wrong direction when shooting luminous arrow. So what you're trying to say is arrows were flying out their arse. They updated the bound hexblade weapons to apply hexblade's curse if they are equipped in the offhand slot. This sounds very nice and sounds like a buff to me. Deepened Pact should now correctly grant extra attack via the Pact of the Blade on honor mode. Very nice. Updated Booming Blade to only be usable once per action taken. If the initial attack was not Booming Blade for extra attacks, one of the extra attacks can be Booming Blade. So previously, Booming Blade, I believe, could only be used once per turn, but now it is being updated to be once per action taken. So this sounds like you can use quite a few Booming Blades depending on how many actions you can get. I think the most actions you can get in a single turn is, of course, infinite if you exploit the game a bit, but you can probably get like 4 or 5, you know, with Terrazul, haste, you know, all sorts of different things. You can get up there pretty high. So it sounds like you could probably use Booming Blade quite a bit in your turn, which is definitely a buff from just being able to use it once per turn. Another update, the War Magic and War Priest extra attacks will now disable themselves if the bonus action needed for the extra attack is used before the extra attack. The Death Domain Reaper passive will no longer disable itself when Metamagic Twinned is on, but will retain its inability to stack, right? So Domain Reaper passive allows you to target 2 targets with necromancy spells. So of course, those will not be stacking. Hexblade's Banishing Smite tooltip will no longer be specific to ranged attacks. Very cool. So now, you know, Banishing Smite is going to change depending on if you're using it with a ranged or melee attack. I didn't even know you could use Banishing Smite on a ranged attack. Fix the animation missing for Swashbuckler's Flick o' the Wrist action when used by short or large body type 2 and 4 characters with a two-handed finesse weapon. That is very specific. I totally get why that animation may be missing. The Song of Defense reactions are now sorted in the correct numerical order in the reactions UI. Very nice. Always gotta have your stuff sorted. Blade Song Climax will no longer work if you have the Blade Song impeded condition. Blade Song Climax and End Blade Song will also no longer be removed from the hotbar when you gain Blade Song impeded. Instead, they're now disabled and have a clarifying warning message in the tooltip indicating that Blade Song is impeded. Cool. Sounds like some confusion is getting cleared up in the tooltips. Clarified that Circle of the Stars Chalice Healing must be used on the turn it gets activated. That can be very helpful if you didn't know that, and you might end up wasting it, right? Drunken Master's Redirect attack will now use Unarmed Strike back at the attacker instead of attacking any other new target. So from what I heard, this could hit your allies. So this is actually a huge improvement, making sure that Redirect attack is hitting an enemy. Another update, updated Bursting Shot to now not cause every enemy in the AoE to display miss when the target is missed. Right, that makes sense, right? Like maybe you're just shooting one target and it says miss for that, but instead it's like a bug and it's saying miss everywhere. So good updates there. Moving on to the gameplay section, fixed characters' armor sometimes becoming invisible and see-through when dropping their wild shape or moving from Act 1 to Act 2. Begone Halsin, who's just a floating head and arms. That was actually kind of a meme that people were showing off in photo mode. They're like, what's going on with Halsin? Awesome. Can't wait to try out photo mode. It's gonna be so cool. Fix the game freezing when dragging items while trading or bartering. Good fix. We love to trade and barter. Fixed a multiplayer issue where the host would get a black screen for 15 seconds when transitioning to a crime dialogue. That is a good fix, worth fixing. 15 seconds is quite a long time. Fixed an honor mode issue at High Hall where all party members would die when reaching the top of the stem if anyone in the party was being dominated by an enemy, causing a game over. Wow. Oof. Whoever found that bug has paid a terrible price for the rest of us. Thank you for your sacrifice. Fixed the skiff at the Morphic pool, sometimes appearing in the wrong spot or floating in the air. Boats aren't supposed to do that. Fixed a bug that would give you the option to go back and choose Explorer, Balanced, or Tactician mode instead of just Custom mode after experiencing a game over in Honor mode. Oh my goodness. Sounds like they could maybe do a little switcheroo there when they should have had a game over with Honor mode. Fixed shape-shifted items like those in the Chest of the Mundane not appearing shape-shifted if they're created while a region is loading. That's good to know. So, you know, there was this argument, does the Chest of the Mundane actually just make the items appear different, or are they actually different? You know, this is almost confirmation from Larian themselves that they're actually changing because, or it says not appearing shape-shifted. Okay, fair enough. Appearing was said. Interesting fix. I think we probably can still get items inside the Chest of the Mundane not shape-shifted if we use a container based off the last video I made. Next up, fixed body type 1 Dwergar incorrectly receiving halfling stats instead of dwarf stats. That's insane. I totally did not even notice that. I wonder if that has been in the game like that. Always so interesting. Body type 1 Dwergar. Fixed Gimblebach getting stuck if his attack triggered a reaction. Good fix. Poor old Gimblebach. Fixed characters not being able to pick up any items if an invalid pickup request was somehow stored in the save game. I have no idea. That sounds wild. Fixed a bug causing non-Dark Urge avatars to say Dark Urge lines. You're not all obliged to be wretched things with headaches. This is probably the biggest, this bug made me into a wretched thing with a headache because it's actually wild how long that this bug has been in the game and how frustrating it has been. I feel like all of my characters, all my tabs have become Dark Urges because of this bug. So I'm so happy this bug is being fixed. That bug was crazy. I love the regular tab voice lines, you know, these boots have seen everything. Fixed a bug where difficulty and game settings wouldn't save properly when adjusted after experiencing a game over in Honor mode. Good fix. Very anything related to Honor mode. Whew, those bugs hopefully get all fixed. All right, moving on to modding. Fixed a bug where the mod verification window wouldn't accurately show whether a recently downloaded or updated mod was enabled or disabled. Good fix. Fixed a mod issue preventing some modded classes and subclasses from leveling up. Good fix. Crossplay and multiplayer. Fixed lagging and freezing on crossplay for all players when a client joins a session. Your crossplay friends list will now group your friends by console. Cool. Fixed a crash on the client's end when a local host attempts to start split screen. Good fix. Fixed a bug preventing you from logging back into your Larian account after losing internet connection. Wow. Good fix. Fixed a bug preventing a host from inviting a client whose game is suspended to the multiplayer lobby. Good fix. The client would instead get a persistent please wait message. Oh my goodness, that sounds like a terrible bug. Fixed an issue causing random session timeouts and disconnects for multiplayer clients. Good fix. Fixed a loop on PS5 that would keep taking you back to the PlayStation Plus upgrade screen if you try to join a lobby without permissions. Fixed an online permissions error preventing clients from joining hosts in a split screen game via the crossplay lobby. And those are all great fixes that can certainly be super frustrating. So awesome job, Larian. Moving on to photo mode. Added some messaging for multiplayer to explain that only the host can toggle photo mode on and off. Very good to give that messaging so you know what's going on. Fixed a bug causing the selector to jump to the top of the frames tab when adjusting any of the frames sliders on controller. Good fix. Fixed a split screen bug causing player 2's screen to turn black when player 2 stops listening in on a dialogue and then player 1 enters and exits photo mode. Yep, that's a very niche bug, but glad they found that one. Fixed camera movement getting blocked if you enable the track character option and then click the reset button in the top left of the camera settings panel. Good fix. Fixed body type 2 and 4 characters pinky and ring fingers stacking vertically on their hand instead of sitting next to each other in the monk spellcaster pose. Wild. How does that even happen? But that's so interesting. Good fix. Not gonna complain. Fixed the dramatic kapow pose causing the barbarian starting armor to stretch on dragonborn characters. Again, so specific. It's a great job testing stuff, guys. Fixed a photo mode message on the Steam Deck that would overlap with the button prompts, tidied up the photo mode keybinds in the keybinds menu, fixed a bug causing the camera to drift upwards infinitely after you take a photo and return to control camera mode. All major bugs that, it's great that they're fixing those. Moving on to the VFX section, fixed a bug where body type 1 and 3 characters' chests would clip through their armor in the spectral preview that appears when preparing to cast certain spells. Yeah, that's a good fix. That's a good fix. Animation fixed some clipping and textual issues with the barbarian starting armor when worn by body type 1 gnomes. Come on, body type 1 gnomes, come on. Fixed the cleric starting armor bouncing around a little too much when worn by body type 1 characters. So interesting. I didn't even know armor really bounced at all, but there you go. Moving on to UI. Fixed an issue causing developer stages sometimes briefly appearing on screen or blinking when fading out of character creation. Fixed the appearance sliders and character creation on controller moving erratically. Fixed item labels being offset or off screen for player 2 on split screen. Fixed a split screen bug where when 2 players looked at a tooltip for the same item, they would see the stats as though they were both the second player to open it. Oh, that's interesting. Fixed a bug on the hotbar for summons and followers, causing the icons to appear shifted down. Fixed a button prompt missing from a message on the main menu about how to start a split screen game. Fixed a bug causing Cosmic Omen ability check to disappear from the hotbar and spellbook after loading a save, and fixed the down button on the PS5 controller, sometimes skipping over several options when cycling through them. Oh my goodness, that must be so frustrating. Good fix there. Fixed a bug where the UI wouldn't fully update one way or the other when switching between the mouse and keyboard UI and the controller UI. These are all such frustrating bugs. Fixed some visual issues with the tab animations when flicking between the tabs in character creation. Fixed a one frame glitch where swapping between 2 party members' inventories would briefly show the first character's equipment in the inventory of the second character. That would be kind of shocking. Fixed the tooltips for the combat log not consistently appearing on controller even if you have the tooltips toggled on. Yep, that would confuse you. Fixed a bug preventing you from pasting special characters into the password form when logging into your Larian account. Good fix. The filters in the multiplayer lobby now filter properly. Fixed the generic icon for some passive features missing from their tooltips in the character sheet. Fixed visual issues with the white translucent VFX that appears over portraits in the party line, caused when dragging one character's portrait over another. Good fix. That is something I do quite a bit. Fixed the character tooltips that appear beside character portraits on the party line not showing up correctly on hover. Fixed the tooltip bug while trading where hovering over any equipped item would display a faulty tooltip, but trying a second time would magically fix it. Okay. Tooltips now populate correctly the first time around. Very good. Fixed a bug causing the sliders in the gameplay options to auto scroll continuously when the left stick is flicked to the left or right. Okay, that would be frustrating. Good fix. Fixed an issue causing the game to freeze for a second when switching between 2 characters with the character sheet open. Fixed a bug on controller preventing you from scrolling through the spells in the replace spell UI when leveling up. These are great fixes. Fixed the footwear slot in the character sheet deciding to just not show up. That seems like a game-breaking bug. Good fix there. Fixed the venture forth text shaking during character creation while the button is held down on controller. It's like you're a little scared to venture forth. It's kind of shaking like crazy. You're like, I don't know if I'm ready for this adventure. Okay, moving on to crashes and blockers. Fixed a crash when switching between keyboard and mouse and controller in character creation. Fixed a crash that could occur when the game was reloading the UI. Disabled the smooth split screen animation option when DLSS is enabled, which was in fact not smooth. That is funny. Fixed a rare and random crash related to materials. Fixed a UI related crash. Fixed a freeze on the PS5 caused by disconnecting and reconnecting the internet connection while logged into the Larian network. Fixed a potential soft lock related to the HUD remaining on screen when loading into a save game made right at the start of cinematic. Fixed a potential crash related to the rewards UI after finishing a dialogue. Fixed a potential crash for the multiplayer client when the host accepts the client's request to join a game and then immediately enters photo mode before the client starts to load in. I mean, it sounds like you're trying to crash the game if you're doing that, but good fix. Fixed a crash when taking custom avatars out of Wither's wardrobe in multiplayer. Lots of crashes and lots of fixes. Awesome job, Larian. So moving on to scripting. Fixed a bug causing Shadowheart to appear dead when loading older saves should she have been killed in the showdown with Lae'zel. This fix prevents the bug from happening in new playthroughs. Awesome, good fix. Combat. Fixed a bug causing damage riders to be applied multiple times in honor mode. See that you know, is interesting. That's a bug I'm curious what caused it to happen, because it sounds pretty exploitable. Next up, fixed a bug causing the Apostle of Merkel to appear tiny when you reload your game during that combat. Now the question is, how tiny? And how did this happen? Oh yeah, when you save and then load during combat. Well, it's fixed now. Fixed sneak attack not activating for actions that spawn additional projectiles like curving shot. And that's all the updates we have from Larian. Tons of new updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.